Are you involved in like an episodic show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, when you go to the earlier shows, do you keep that in mind when you go to the later shows as far as the music?
Oh,
For
like
consistency?
thematically?
Yeah,
Thematically?
for consistency.
Yeah, like the earlier episodes versus
Yeah.
like the back half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to like create a through line thematically for some of our characters. For Murderbot, there was a evolution and growth that happened. So a lot of the music, did start off kind of like more electronic and then became more emotional, more orchestral, more organic as the season, went on. But it was still important to maintain certain melodic ideas. That way you could recognize a theme and connect the ideas.
Do you ever decide that, okay, here's a scene that requires no music?
Yes.
Yeah, I ask
Definitely.
that a lot. And
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
No,
Same
definitely.
answer.
I feel like, especially with Murderbot, there are moments where there's a lot of voiceover.
Yeah.
And so you kind of want to let those moments shine. The actors' performances are fantastic, so I don't want to step on those performances.
Yeah.
But also, it's all about, awkwardness and, just not being sure of oneself in certain moments. So sometimes having no music would add to that awkwardness, those awkward pauses, and that's a big part of the Murderbot like vibe. Is this like awkwardness and uncertainty, and so that was important.
Now, are you involved in like sound effects too?
No, not in
You
sound
don't do
effects.
sound. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just do the
Just
beats, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, the music, and then there was a original song for the series. So,
Really?
so that was fun. Oftentimes those were like licensed, but we created an original song.
Yeah.
For Sanctuary Moon is like a show within the show. So there was like a main title to create that was like inspired by like old space TV shows and soap operas. So that was really fun.
So when you decide on an original song, how do you decide if that works or not?
Yeah, so actually one of the showrunners, Chris Weitz, he had a voice memo of an idea that he had, and I arranged around it, and then he sent more lyrics, then I sent more music, sent more arrangements, and then we kind of co-wrote that song together. So it was very much initially his idea, and I kind of like built around that idea. And then we found an incredible vocalist to sing it, an artist named Anne XO, and she sang it, and it was amazing. It was hilarious and fun.
You ever finish it and then think, maybe this doesn't work? You ever do that?
So far, so good. There's like a
that
very
works.
rigorous kind of like process of making sure everyone's happy from beginning to end. For sure, yeah.
I hear that a lot. Some people say, I don't know, I looked at that and I don't know if it quite works, And you go back and you do it,
Yeah, but that one worked out great, which is fun.
Now, how much do you depend on electronic?
I would say it's about 70, maybe 60% of the score. There's a lot
Becoming
of
more and more,
yeah. There's a lot of
noticed that,
orchestra.
yeah.
We recorded an orchestra, like a 60-piece orchestra at Warner Brothers. So there's a lot of orchestral music.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of electronic music, and I feel like the nature of it being like about a robot and he's becoming sentient and feeling more human. It was important to have that balance and that mixture of the two feelings. And it worked. It was fun.
How did you get started? What was your,
I've
your dream? You got, I'm going to do this.
I was always passionate about music since I was very young. Starting with piano at 3, then clarinet at 10.
3? Wow.
And then guitar at like 14, 15. And I always knew I would do something in music. And then it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles in 2010 that I realized that film scoring specifically was a viable career choice. So once I began to explore it, I was like, this is the way my brain works about music. I love writing like 7-minute pieces, 10-minute pieces, writing like a 2-minute like banger is not my thing. And I have this like insatiable hunger for exploring a variety of genres. So I feel like this industry lends itself to like the way I think and the way I love to explore and play with music. So it's perfect. I'm glad to have stumbled upon it. It's perfect.
When you edit, do you think sometimes maybe this would be better with live music, maybe this would be better with You know, do you ever think of that?
Yeah, that's definitely part of the creative process. Like as you're writing something, you're like, well, let me like switch up the instrumentation a little bit. Maybe this would feel better for certain things. And a lot of that exploration, you know, happens in the beginning. And you're like just toying with all these different ideas. You definitely want to just keep tossing ideas around in your head and not become too beholden to one idea, you know? Especially as a collaborator, you want to just kind of be light on your feet. So that's absolutely part of the process. You're like, maybe we should try this, or maybe we should try that. And you kind of like figure out what feels good through that process.
When you look at some scenes and do you look at the character and you think, well, maybe this would work better for this character? In other words, you connect the music to the character.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, so it depends. But again, it goes back to those like creative conversations with the director and the showrunner to identify how we want to like emote. Like how do we want the audience to feel when we're experiencing these characters? So instrumentation is a big part of that. So for Murderbot, you know, we'd have a lot of like electronic kind of elements in the beginning of the series, and that was like ascribed to him. But as like the series like continued onwards, we're like, well, he's connecting more with his crew members. He's developing a connection. He's falling in love with them, and he really cares about them. So then we kind of like create this like more human through line. So it's all very important, and it's its own storytelling device, you know, sonically.
When you do you do trailers?
Sometimes, but not always.
Okay, I was just going to ask how the trailer would be different than because the trailer has to be
so the
boom, boom, boom,
trailer,
really punchy,
they actually
right?
licensed a song, "Stuck in the Middle with You." It's like "Stuck in the Middle with You." So they licensed that song, and the trailer company did an extraordinary job at kind of like putting it on its head. You know, just like what trailer companies do. But I think when you license a song for a trailer, it's always a lot of fun. And just kind of chop it up.
I watch trailers and I think, wow, a lot of effort went into this.
Yes!
Because it captured every little
Every
beat
turn
of the film.
and beat, exactly. Yeah, it's a marketing tool.
Yeah.
So you want to really capture and really draw audiences in and get people really excited, you know? And you know, in some cases, the trailer's more exciting than the show.
That's what I think. Too.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
it's like it
that.
works. It's like a tool to like get people to watch the first episode and then keep watching after that. It's all marketing. So.
What is the? I don't know if I asked you this. Do you have a film that you really wowed by, like really impressed you? Like wow, this.
Like the music in the film?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I would say Under the Skin.
Which one?
Under the Skin. Mika Levy's score from Under the Skin.
Okay.
I thought that was really fresh and awesome. That was from like a couple of years ago now. Obviously, I'm a huge like John Williams fan.
Yeah, John Williams. Yeah.
You know, Howard Shore is awesome, really, really awesome from Lord of the Rings. Ennio Morricone, you know, Danger Diabolique is an extraordinary, fun film.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a couple of films that are just like kind of have blown me away in the choices that they were making. Music, yeah.
You think the sci-fi films have different kinds of scoring than drama? I mean, do they? I get that sometimes.
You know what's interesting? I feel like John Williams really set the tone with the bombast.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's like Gustav Holst's Planets. You know, really inspired a lot of people's thinking around how to do sci-fi, like you know, I guess kind of like spacey kind of music. You know. So it definitely informs my decisions when I'm working on Murderbot and creating like it's that universe. You know? I feel like I need to have a nod to that sonic world and then kind of make it my own. You know.
I always thought that sci-fi music had to be bigger.
Yeah, it
You know
feels
what I
that
mean?
way.
Just
Yeah,
bigger. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that way too.
Like action films, they have to be bigger.
Yes,
Yeah.
it works. It really gets people pumped and draws them in. Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay, amazing.